welcome back to Cottoverdi. My name's Annette and it is a glorious day today. It's blue skies, the sun has just gone behind a tiny cloud, so I'm not squinting too much. And today I've got a couple of little jobs that I want to do, and one of them is pruning and the other one is moving a plant. And then we'll see what else we get done. That might be all I managed to get done today. But this plant here behind me is a Cornus or a Dogwood. I think it's one called Midnight Fire, and it has these gorgeous yellow stems that turn red. Now the thing about Cornus or Dogwood is that during the summer months when it leaves out, it's just a nice sort of shrub, but in the winter it really comes to life because these stems are so colourful. I think you can get green ones and you can certainly get dark red ones. This is the only one that I have in my garden at the moment, and I do really love it, but look how enormous it is, and it's kind of in the wrong place. It's very visible from the patio, so it's a little bit boring in the summer. It's kind of the thing that's, you know, right in the middle of the two oak trees, but also because I haven't pruned it particularly well over the years, I've got a lot of this yellow, and then the ends of the stems, which is where the colour is, where the red is, they're kind of just at the top. So the thing about dogwoods is the more you prune them, the more colourful they'll be, because it's the young stems that have the most colour on them. So I want to really kind of coppice this plant, but I also want to move it to another area where we're going to be planting a grass border, which is a new thing for us this year. We've never had this before. I've always worried a little bit about hay fever for my husband and my kids, but I think, I mean, I don't suffer so far, touch wood, but I think if it's far enough away from the house and the patio that it shouldn't cause too many problems. I'm not planning to spread grasses all over the place. I think that I'll just leave them in this one area and we'll see how we do. Oh, the sun's coming out again now. So we're going to prune this and move it, and then the other plant that I'm going to be pruning is my winter flowering Viburnum, and I think it's called Viburnum bodnantense. I'll put the name up on the screen. I don't know how you say it. I can't remember how you spell it is the problem, so I can't remember how you pronounce it. But it flowers, and it flowered beautifully right through the winter, particularly in January and February, and it's now gone over, so now is the perfect time to prune it, and I've never pruned it before. So we can see the Cornus or Dogwood here, and then right behind me, this tall plant here is the winter flowering Viburnum, and it's really tall and not very bushy, and actually this plant should get to about 2.5 meters tall and supposedly 2.5 meters wide, but it never has. It's only ever grown straight upwards. So what I plan to do today is probably chop it in half in the hope that I'm going to stimulate some branching, and then I'll have more flowers lower down and more flowers, hopefully. So that's what I'm going to do here. So this is how tall it is all the way up here, and you can see that it's actually quite narrow, and it has got a few little branches, but I want to create more branching so that I have more flowers. This is a Himalayan honeysuckle, which I absolutely love, and I may move closer to the front of the border because it's kind of set back quite far, so we don't get to see the little dangly flowers as much as I'd like. But I'm going to focus on this today, I think, and prune it by half. So I think I'm going to start with the Viburnum because it's going to be the easier job, and then we will move down the bed and deal with that monstrosity down there. It's such a nice day today. I don't even need my coat on. I'm trying to avoid stepping on all the bulbs. I'll step on the dandelion. So you can see how tall this is. It's absolutely enormous. So it's taller than me. I'm 5'6", so that's at least 6 foot tall. And the stems are quite thick. I mean, they must be like at least an inch round. And I can see where all the flowers were, and it's definitely starting to shoot. So this is a really good time to prune it. And this Viburnum, I have read, will take really well to a hard pruning. So I am going to prune it. I think I'm going to prune it to waist height, and then the new shoots will be at nose height or eye height. That's my aim. So I'm going to take it down to here. I really need to get a better angle. Oh, so many of our beds need weeding. So I'm literally going to chop. So I've chopped above where there are some branches coming out, and I may chop this one a little bit higher there. And these two are crossing, which is not good at all. So I think I'm going to take this one down even further. I mean, this is still a good 2 foot off the ground. So taking that down to there, and this one to here. I'm looking for strong growth. Oh, and then I'm going to take this one to here. So this one's coming over here quite nicely. I like that. And this one's leaning this way. So I'm actually really happy with just leaving that structure like that, I think. That's all I'm going to do to the viburnum. So this is one of the long branches that I cut off, and actually what we can do is take some cuttings from this and grow some more shrubs. So what you're looking for is something that's sort of pencil thickness and has got some nice growing tips on it or shoots, and I'm just going to cut that back to the stem like this and take this as a cutting. I've got another one here, so again I'm just going to take it off there. And I'm going to take up from the top as well, because these are nice bits of strong cutting material. So then with these bits, we can either just stick them straight in the soil, or we could use a rooting compound and put them in a pot and keep them somewhere sheltered, like in a cold frame or something like that. Or we could try and root them in water. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put them all in a pot of compost and keep them somewhere sheltered and let them root, and then I'll have more plants for next year. These bits, these are just the dead flower heads, so we can just get rid of those bits. What we're looking for are the nice shoots. So it's exactly the same principle with the Cornus. You can cut it down, like right down to the bottom. In fact, you can see in the past where I've cut it down to, that's where all the branches are coming out. But I haven't cut it back enough in recent years. And in fact, dogwoods will sucker. So this one's, you know, growing new shoots over here. But I want to take this out completely from this spot. It's blocking a gorgeous tree peony, it's blocking a hibiscus, and I just don't want it here all year long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop back a lot of the stems right down to the crown, and then it'll be a lot easier to dig out. And obviously with anything that's sort of pencil thickness on these, we can root those as well, and these are really easy to just stick into the ground somewhere and they will just take so quickly. So the stems can look a bit woody when they're old, but the young shoots are lovely and red like this, and this is what we're looking for. We're looking for the young red shoots on the cornus, which is why it's important to prune it, because this is very dull. I've asked Richard to come and help because I really need help getting this out. I definitely can't do it on my own, and my back's killing me at the moment, so it's better if he does that. Well, that took Richard absolutely ages, poor thing. It was incredibly well rooted in, and I regret having to ask him to move that because it was a lot of work. However, he's managed to get it out, and we're going to put it in this bed, which is going to be my grass border, which we're going to plant another day, because I think it's going to go really well in the grass border. It's going to give colour during the winter, when we're going to have all the auburns and blondes from the grasses as they're going over, and I think it's just going to be a lovely addition. So we're plopping it in the middle of the border here, where it's not going to be quite so close to anything that's got a lot of flowers. So this is where we're going to put the cornus. Behind it is a Spirea Douglasii, something like that. It's just it's got beautiful pink plumes. There is actually another one over here, and it does spread a little bit, but that can be controlled quite easily. We've got our bird feeding station here, and this whole area is going to be my grass border, so it's going to be surrounded by some lovely grasses, and I think that in the middle there is the perfect spot for it. And being close to the silver birch, it's also just going to be a lovely colour combination through the winter months. But that's it for today. I have pruned the Viburnum, the winter flowering Viburnum, and we've coppiced and moved this dogwood, thank goodness. And we're just going to finish prepping this bed, and then I'll be able to plant it up with my grass border. I really hope you've enjoyed this video today. If you have, do give it a like. And if you'd like to see the grass border come to fruition, or more videos like this, then do subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you all next time.